Alright, what's up guys? Here back with another YouTube video. Today we are going to be making a forecast on many days of severe weather that is coming up from two major systems of storms that are going to produce damaging wind, large hail, and tornadoes. And we're going to be all talking about that today in this video. So, sorry guys if I'm sniffing a lot. I'm having very bad allergies right now, so I'm really sorry. But yeah, just try not to listen to my allergies. Just don't worry about it. Try not to worry about it. Yeah, there is. You can look. I gotta download Epic. I gotta put Epic on my thing again. Forgot about that. All right, you can see. Look at this down here. Slight, enhanced, slight. All right, slight, enhanced, slight, severe. Wow, pretty big, huh? We're gonna be all talking about every day on here in one day today. And we're also going to be talking about maybe some of the excessive rainfall that's finally going to be happening in California after them having a drought for so long. They have a high chance for flooding today, which is dangerous but good for them because they need rain. So now, day one, day one's convective outlook is a slight risk of severe weather in Kansas City, Lincoln, Overland Park, and Topeka for the slight risk. You can see there's a pretty big slight risk in this area. The biggest populated area in this area are Kansas City and Lincoln mostly. But I think most of the storms are mostly going to head north of Kansas City. The biggest storms. So yeah. You can see that. There's a 2% chance for tornadoes in Wichita, Kansas, Salina, Kansas, Hutchinson, Kansas, Emporia, Kansas, and Derby, Kansas in this area. Well, I kind of circled it a little too big, but in this area. So you guys gotta be keeping an eye on that for today. It's really low chance of tornadoes for today, but that doesn't mean there's no chance. So that's that. And then there's a 5% wind risk in these areas down here, which mostly is really low, but that slight risk that we're talking about is going to be for the hail. So everyone that slight risk isn't really going to have a potential for tornadoes or winds, just hail. I'm talking about the hail. These big area of hail, of some large hail could happen in some of these areas, so you guys got to keep an eye on that for today. Yeah. Now, I'm going to talk about everything but the day two. Because I kind of want to talk about that last. Actually, no, I'll talk about it first because some of you guys might not watch the whole video, which is okay. So now, the biggest risk is this big, huge risk of severe weather in areas like St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, Columbia, Fort Smith, and Fayetteville. I'm in this. I'm in the enhanced risk. If any of you guys know who Weather Central is, he's also under an enhanced risk today. So he's got to be keeping an eye on these storms too. This is gonna be a very dangerous day. I know Ryan Gage is in this because he was pretty close to be. It says so. Yeah, there's an enhanced risk, and since there's already a high chance for tornadoes, wind, and hail, and I'm pretty sure that what most people are thinking is that they're gonna issue a moderate risk in some of these areas for tomorrow, which is pretty crazy. But yes, there's an enhanced risk of severe weather across parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley and Ozarks. Summary: scattered to severe thunderstorms associated with damaging wind gusts, isolated large hail, and some tornadoes will be likely from parts of the Ozarks into the mid-Mississippi Valley. More isolated severe threat in western Tennessee Valley, which you don't really need to be Sorry about that. Whoa, why did you switch that? So, yeah, they're talking about how, there's me and the strong cores and elevated hail, activity will be elevated through the late morning, but a hail threat will develop in those areas. And some damaging winds will be. Uh, so what is happening is there's a tornado threat in the early evening from these embedded supercells that are going to have that tornado threat, with wind damage being the greatest threat. But mostly the tornadoes are going to be when the supercells start up before the squall line forms and produces those damaging winds, and still that risk for some tornadoes. But this is kind of looking like a day where when you get a tornado, there's a chance of it being a strong one. So because significant tornado parameter is pretty high for today. This guy's got to keep keeping an eye on that. But now, the hail whisk. Sorry about that. There's a 30% hail risk in these areas in St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Columbia, St. Charles, and St. Peters, Missouri. You can see that red outline. There's no hatched for hail, so the main threat will be damaging winds, but you can still get some pretty dangerous hail in these areas. So you also got to be keeping an eye on that. Now for the wind. There's a 30% chance of wind in St. Louis Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, Columbia, Missouri, Fort Smith, Arkansas, and Fayetteville, Arkansas. In these areas right here. So you can see this 30% hatched. Going into these areas, that means SIG severe in St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Fayetteville, Arkansas, St. Charles, Missouri, and Springdale, Arkansas. That means there's a chance for 70-mile-per-hour plus winds in our area, in your area if you're in this. So I'm going to actually switch to pivotal weather since it's kind of better, if you can tell. For like showing this, but yeah. So you can see this big enhanced risk in these areas. See St. Louis here, St. Charles, City, Joplin, Springfield, Fayetteville, somewhere around here. I think it might be down here or something. I don't know. Now, the hail risk is 30% in this area. Now they have the wind risk, hatch 30%. You can see that so these areas are all under 30%, but the hatched areas in this area, St. Louis, Missouri, see Springfield down there, see these areas, these are the areas that have a chance for some high winds over 70 mile per hour possible. Now the tornado threat. There's a big area of a tornado risk and all the way through here. Pretty big area. If we go back to here and you can see St. Louis, Missouri, the 10% is under St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, Columbia, Missouri, Fort Smith, Arkansas, and Fayetteville, Arkansas. And the hatched are St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Columbia, St. Charles, and Springdale. So you seeing this is pretty rare. This doesn't happen very often. Anywhere in this 5% too. You still got to be keeping an eye for tornadoes. That doesn't mean there's not as high of a chance of tornadoes in this area, even in the 2%. That doesn't mean there's no risk. But the main thing we're going to be talking about is the 10% over in this area. And so areas like here are not in the 10%, aren't under the hatched, so they don't have there's 10%, which is pretty rare. And this area has a hatched, which means EF2 to EF5 tornadoes are possible. And you can see St. Louis is fully in that thing. You can see St. Louis in that thing right there, and Springfield and Columbia and St. Charles, and so yeah. So anyone in these areas like St. Louis too, or Gages in, or Weather Central, you guys are under the chance for strong tornadoes. So we got to be keeping an eye on this. For now, um, yeah, you can tell how that's gonna be going on. Um, the weather precipitation. So the day one, today's excessive rainfall. Okay, it's a marginal in this area. Wait, why did I just switch to that? In these areas. So that's because there's going to be quite a bit of rain heading in this area, but pretty low chance for excessive rain. Now, day two is up here. So mostly north is a severe threat. Up here mostly is where the big chances for flooding is at. So just be keep an eye on that. And let's let's see. Let's go up here and see. There's the winter storms impacts. Yeah, there's gonna be quite a bit of snow up there. You guys want to see California? Look at that. High chance for excessive rain. High in this area. It's insane. It's gonna be quite a bit of rain in these areas. That's what's gonna head onto our area and produce those bad storms. Alright. Now let's look at the weather for day two. Look, you might be seeing today, day maximum temps. Look how low it is. If these weather happened in this area, if that same storms that's gonna happen to us on Tuesday, Sunday happened in this area today, it wouldn't be as bad because look how low these temperatures are gonna be in our area. Some 80s down here, so that's gonna be pretty warm for those areas. But what's really gonna come in is this big area of a warm front sweeping through all these areas, and why areas like St. Louis is in 70-degree weather. This is the main threat. 78 up here, and 78 down there, even 79 degrees down there, which is pretty crazy. You even get some 81s in here and 86s, 88s down there, but that's not really in where the severe weather's not going to really be down there. And the minimum temps, look how low it gets. Down to 52 in St. Louis area. In Springfield's down to 47. Columbia's over in Jefferson City is under 47. Columbia's in 47 too. So that's because there's gonna be a cold front sweeping in. Look at those 30s in these areas. That's pretty crazy. You see this line can head in, and then the cold front's gonna come in behind it in this area. Well, the warm front's in here, and they're gonna collide and produce those bad weather. Um, so yeah. Sorry, guys. Let's check the. Look at these big dew points that are gonna head in today. Um, let's switch this. the heck? So you guys can see some 60s in these areas. These are the dew points. This is the humidity. It's the feel. Um, see some nice 60s in St. Louis, some 60s in Jeff City, and 67 up in Columbia, and even in the 60s down here in Kansas City is also in 66. So it's quite a bit of energy in this area. And then you can see that you go here, why these storms are gonna happen. So you can see these strong dew points right here. The cold front's gonna be back here. Look at this is the dry line that is gonna produce these bad weather. Look at this. Look at that dry line right here. Heading in with these storms heading in this area are gonna collide. So all these big dew points, look at how high these dew points are, and then right behind it, 45 dew points from this dry line coming in. That's what's gonna produce these bad weather. Look at that dry line. Look at how strong that dry line is. You can see big time storms are probably going to be happening in this area. And that threat for tornadoes is probably going to be happening in this area because you can see 2 points in the upper 60s in this area. And then look at that 45 in Kansas City. Look at that. Heading into these areas. Um, and then look at that. It just keeps swooshing through. And like, look at this dry line for these dew points. You dew points to the 30s over there. Yeah, this is where the area of tornadoes could be too in this area. Um, from this dry line coming in. You can see that little tip up there. Look. And then look at that. Then when these storms once they kind of head off to this area, like in Tennessee, it's very like in these areas, they're kind of just gonna weaken into a squall line and tornado threat kind of diminish once it heads into this area for today. But you can see still dry lines heading into the St. Louis area there, and these storms are gonna head through. And you can see the dry line kind of weakens, and it's some big time low dew points in these areas. Look at how low these dew points are for like days. Pretty crazy. So now Monday, where some storms, you can see these pretty good dew points. There's a slight risk in this area, that I haven't talked about yet. But yeah. My gosh, my video's already 18 minutes long. And you guys can see these areas. Look at these temperatures. 80 degrees in St. Louis. Jeez. And you look at that dry line. Look at that cold front. These temperatures going out of 50s in this area while it's still 70 in this area. Look at that. That's what we were just showing on the dew points. See that coming through. So, yeah. Now we're going to talk about day three's outlook. Day three categorical. You can see a slight risk of severe weather in these big, massive slight risk and marginal in these areas, posing that threat for some damaging winds and maybe an isolated tornado in these areas. I do think this could be upgraded to an enhanced, but it's not going to be anything crazy like what's going to happen today. It's probably going to be a little not as strong, but it's still going to be pretty intense. And then day 4 is for the central U.S. There's already a 15% setup in this area for the risk for damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes in this area, too, for day 4's outlook. We'll be keeping an eye on that, probably upgrade to an enhanced. And then day 5's probabilistic is for the southeast U.S. in areas like Baton Rouge, I'm pretty sure is in this, New Orleans, Pensacola, Mobile, those areas are going to be under this site for the day 5, which is pretty far out. So we'll be keeping an eye on that too, but this is still pretty far out. So, guys, we're going to end this video for today. I hope you guys liked it. I know this was really long, but it's so much to talk about, and bye.